Hey, we are here with Elysian Road. This is episode 28. We're back with your favorite Stars Without Number show on the internet. Probably, maybe, I don't know. At least Peyton's. And we're returning to the Elysian Road sector after some time away from it. We had a little bit of a hiatus, primarily because Connor had a baby. So
Come on, Connor.
that's the sort of thing that happens. You can't really do tabletop role-playing games when you're busy taking care of a newborn.
Like how you said that, like it's just a thing that can occur. Like this is the sort of thing that happens, like it was a snow day, Connor had a baby.
Well, Mickey had a baby. Connor was there.
True.
She was
Connor
having
contributed.
I was like, Connor did play an important role.
He did, certainly.
Yeah.
He didn't deliver the baby, though.
That's true.
She was having contractions 2 weeks ago when we would have been doing RPG.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And at that point we knew that she was in early labor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
maybe RPGs wasn't the wisest.
It wasn't a priority at that point. Wasn't he actually born on Wednesday?
To save my marriage.
Yeah. Wasn't he actually born on Wednesday though?
Yeah, he's born the next day. Okay. Yeah.
Cool. So we're gonna continue our game here, and
can my son Ezra play Ziva?
Certainly, yeah.
Okay, I asked Mickey about it, but she said no.
So now mom said no, so now you're asking dad. Is that
Well, he'd ask himself. I don't know why he's asking me.
Yeah, I was metaphorically.
Yeah. I know I'm the older brother, but that's still weird.
Not this way. She doesn't have to be lonely during RPG. She's got
right.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's true.
She
Yeah.
feels the same way.
I didn't even
that's
think
exactly
about
how she sees it.
I didn't even think about that, Connor. That's good for Mickey. I'm glad for her. She has a person she can interact with at all times if she desires.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Not sure that interaction is exactly quite the same, but sure.
Funny because when Finn was born, Thursday nights became a lot more stressful for me.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yep. So we left
game.
Yeah, we left off on a cliffhanger.
The biggest cliffhanger of all cliffhangers.
Yeah, your farms are burning from having held on for 3 weeks. So here we go, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Can't much longer. So we left off with Vigo Sorum / Garrett Telmieri, Evelyn's person she's been trying to track down the entire campaign. Finally coming back to his memories. There was some sort of psychic abnormality that happened after Fergus killed the giant psychic god beast thing.
Didn't I kill it? Pretty sure.
Well, yeah, but Fergus
you killed it together.
Yeah, Fergus did a psychic thing that made things go badly. Oh, he tried to eat it. That's what it was. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I killed it, but so I think what happened was we decided later that killing it was the problem, but in the game it was him doing that led us to the
conclusion. Yeah.
Not that it matters. I want to make sure the fault was
of course
correctly put on.
Yeah.
Whoa. What caused it? Caleb's exact words was the huge amount of energy ripping through a psychic god was what caused it.
It's true.
Yeah. No, we retconned it to be my fault. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, no, I'm the one who built the gun, so it's still my fault. It's not because I tried eating it.
I mean, I don't know. Is it Colt's fault if someone kills someone with their pistol? I don't think that's
it is ultimately Fergus's fault in multiple ways outside of game, and Fergus was first cause, Ode was second cause.
Okay. I was under the impression that just killing it was the primary reason.
Yes, but you wouldn't have been able to kill it.
So now it's dead.
Fergus hooked up the Hephaestus engine. No. Remember, Fergus hooked up the Hephaestus engine to the gun, so
it was the only reason they killed it in one shot.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, it's dead now.
It is dead now. And
so are some of us,
Vigo has he was also affected by this psychic phenomenon and failed his save. But because his weird kind of psychic nanites are bad, it had an opposite effect, right? Instead of being this catastrophic failure of psychic abilities, it actually kind of made the nanites give him his memories back. They their function switched. Something happened.
Anti-nanites were a good thing this time around.
Exactly. Well, when anti-nanites fail, that's a good thing, right? That's the idea.
Right. Yeah.
I understand.
That sounds like a great band name. When anti-nanites fail.
There you go.
I mean, the words we're throwing around in this campaign mean nothing in the way that we're actually playing them out. This is not how nanites work. We're using nanites as a catch-all term for weird psychic fiddly bits that interact with the human body.
I don't think nanites have a way that they work yet. I think that's a thing that.
Well, theoretical nanites, the way nanotechnology should work according to anything we understand currently.
I see. Okay.
It's not the way that they work in this. They're psychic in this. And so Vigo got his memories back. And the last thing we saw was Evelyn come up to Vigo, and the Iron Man suit of her mech like started peeling off of him, and he kind of stumbles out, and he looks at you, Evelyn, and says, "I remember everything." And then we cut to a flashback. And let's go ahead and do the flashback now, Evelyn, of you and him interacting, probably on the day that he told you, like, you have to leave, right? And this will...
What about the chess game?
I think that'll be later. I want to get like...
Okay.
I remember what you're saying, but I want to get like the most important scene to fill in the most important detail before we get it, like the exposition dump from the characters.
His memory, like this is him. This is what he remembers. This is
probably like the last thing he remembers of you, particularly. Yeah. So I think we see Evelyn. I'm imagining this space. I'm getting like Camino vibes, right? Like the clone facility, where you have, it's obviously not as vast, and there aren't like 20,000 clones of one person. It's a small handful of children. Though I guess like at this point it's probably just you, because by the time by the time he would do this,
it's probably just like me and one other person, right?
You know what we see? This is what we see. We see you and Crawl playing.
No, I didn't know he existed.
No, you did. Remember?
Or no, I knew he existed.
He was the runner-up. Remember? So
was he? Oh, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
We see Evelyn and Crawl playing their last match, right? We see Ender's Game style, like RTS, commanding fleets into battle on this like virtual hologram space. I'm kind of facing off in this room. And we've seen Evelyn do this before, but this is like the most advanced version of it that we've ever seen, right? It very much looks like actual combat is happening, and they're just watching it through a hologram, as opposed to it's a weird, it's a game simulation, which is usually what we've seen with Evelyn. This is high tech, government military sort of grade tech, TL5 stuff. And so the simulation is incredibly realistic. Evelyn is like talking to probably AI powered quote unquote squadron commanders and actually relaying them information, and they're acting like people, and it's very realistic. It almost seems
TL6, they could be like psychic impressions of real people.
Right, yeah, exactly. That'd maybe like cool. A real battle that happened and they like psychically captured it. But yeah, this is not quite that level. But like advanced AI technology, for sure. That's powering this.
Yeah, that'd be cool, but that's not what this.
Yeah. Well, it's TL5. It's not TL6, right? These people aren't into the psychic stuff as much. It's more like bioengineering and advanced other stuff like that. But we see Evelyn commanding her troops, commanding this like space fleet, as Crawl is sweating on the other side of the room. And we can see Crawl growing more and more frustrated. And I think... Yeah. Good.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think we see Crawl growing more and more frustrated, and we see the people who are kind of in charge of this program. So we see what's his face that you killed. What's his name?
Oh, the doctor guy, like head doctor guy that I stabbed with the cybernetic.
I didn't actually make a character sheet for him. Yeah, that guy.
Whatever
his name is.
We know what he is, though. Our fans know it.
We see that familiar face.
Yeah.
And then a couple other people we don't recognize, and then we also see Garrett / Vigo. I'm gonna call him Vigo from now on because he actually remembers who he is, and that's his real name. So
right, yeah. It's still gonna get confusing, but it's fine.
And Vigo, everyone is looking strange about it, right? They're really interested in what's happening. A lot of them are like the generals or whatever, the people here. There's probably actually is a who's there? Yeah, I was gonna say, generals. You know who's there? The Minister of War is there. We've seen this guy before, big old Viking dude. This is Victor Arthur Halvorson's dad. We see him there. And it's probably like on a hologram. He's not actually there. Thanks, Jared. I was trying to move past it. But he's
hologram's more sophisticated, brother.
Yeah, life-size hologram of him next to everybody else. So he's watching this as well. And Vigo's standing next to that guy, and everyone seems just like amazed at what's happening. Crawl is just breaking down, slowly getting more and more out of control and frustrated and making mistakes and emotional about it. And Evelyn, I assume, is just calm, cool, and collected about the entire.
There comes a moment where like he makes a move, like a desperate move of like kind of like the last charge or whatever, and all you see is like the camera zooms up on her face and she just gets like the slightest little smirk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she's like, I have him. Checkmate kind of a thing.
Yeah, and I think we hear one of the scientists turn to the main leader of Paragon and say something like, you said that she was disattached from the whole process, but I had no idea it was this extreme. Normally women in these sorts of programs, especially young women, don't fare as well because of the hormonal simple hormonal differences, but there's something about her that's just cold, far colder than anyone I've seen before. And the Minister of War just says, good, we need generals who are cold and calculating and can do what is necessary. I don't care who she is or how she came about her disposition, but this is what we need. And we see it was Ulysses.
I mean, to be fair, this is
Ulysses Salgado is his name. That's the guy's name.
Yes. Yeah.
What were we saying?
I was gonna say, to be fair, I mean, like she was bioengineered.
Right. Exactly. And I think that's what Ulysses is about to say. He basically says, oh no, you don't understand. We've specifically bioengineered all of our candidates to be sociopathic by nature. It's the only way that they can be so detached from the emotional outcome of war. Men usually do better, but if you level the playing field mentally with a disorder such as that, the hormonal differences don't usually play as much a factor as you're thinking. And they're just like calmly discussing the like science of this situation. And
like it's two cows they're comparing.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Which one has got more meat on it?
Exactly. And Vigo the whole time is just frowning and like just like not, he looks sick, right? And he's finally realizing just like the extent of this. And we hear we see Evelyn defeat Crawl, right? Finish her session here and win the day. And the Minister of War just like turns to Ulysses and nods and he says, she will do. I will give you our timeline as soon as we have it. Until then, well, prepare her. And then he flickers away. And Ulysses turns to the scientist next to him and says, I imagine it will take them some time to prepare for whatever they're doing. The Imperium has been planning some grand conquest for a while now, and I think it will. I don't think they'll call on Evelyn until they are ready. In the meantime, I had an idea to use her, well, test her capabilities with a, how would you say, a more mercenary job before we send her to the Imperium. And the scientist nods and says, I actually had a couple of candidates in mind. There's some Order of the Dust. Some Order of the Dust officials who have been interested in the program we've been doing here. I'll send you a couple of dossiers. And Ulysses nods. And he turns to Vigo and says, well, Mr. Sorum, are you satisfied with the product we've been able to offer the Imperium? It seems like your Minister of War is. And Vigo seems distracted, doesn't hear him at first, and is just staring at Evelyn as, what is she doing as she's, the simulations are powering down, Krull is being led away.
Well, I think she obviously, like, as soon as she won, she probably turned to everybody watching and, like, bowed. And then after that, I think she's just been, like, impatiently standing at attention. Like waiting to be like told she did it.
Yeah. And I think you know that these people are on the other side of this glass, but you actually aren't able to see them. So you're just like looking at the one-way glass, just like waiting for orders.
I'm probably waiting to be dismissed.
Exactly. And Vigo is looking at you, though you can't see him, and is distracted.
Can we say, can it be like a movie scene where like I'm staring at one point in the glass, but it just happens to be directly in his eyes?
Uh-huh. And he's meeting your gaze, and he's distracted, doesn't hear what Ulysses says, and he says, Mr. Sorum, and he shakes his head, yes, I'm sorry. And he repeats his question, like, are you satisfied with the product we've given the Imperium? And Vigo just like waits with like mouth slightly open, and then closes his mouth and just says, yes, Mr. Salgado, the Imperium will be thrilled with what you've done here. And Ulysses kind of smirks as if he understands that he's distancing himself from it and is saying the Imperium is thrilled, but I am not. But Ulysses is like, well, doesn't matter. You can't do anything about it, and just kind of smirks to himself and then walks away. I see. Well, he goes to the panel, the like intercom, and just says, General, he probably wouldn't call you General. He'd just say, Miss Leidner, you are dismissed. And then he, walks off to do something else, work on some other project. And Vigo just is watching you walk off into the door opens on the side of the room, and you walk away, and Vigo's just standing there.
Evelyn kind of hesitates for a moment though before leaving. She's kind of like, no, like, congratulations. Like, I don't get to meet the general. Like, there's no there's no graduation gift. Like, she's kind of like, I just spent my entire life working for this one goal.
And it definitely seems anticlimactic.
You're dismissed.
Yeah. Definitely seems anticlimactic to the whole thing. But I think like no one says anything. Vigo doesn't say anything. And eventually you just leave.
Yeah.
But it's at the moment that the door closes that Vigo just like immediately no. And then he just like goes out the door next to him, and we see him just like walk briskly down the hallway, circle around to where you're undoubtedly going back to your quarters and intercept you. And you see him coming like you meet at a T in the corridors here, pristine white hallways. And he just walks up to you and grabs your arm, and he says, come with me.
Vigo?
Come with me, Evelyn, now.
Vigo, where are we going?
And he starts dragging you away.
Are we going to meet the general? Yeah, as she's getting tugged along, she's like, Vigo, are we going to meet the general?
The general doesn't want to meet you yet.
Why? Didn't I perform adequately?
You were fine, Evelyn. This isn't about that. And he like stops in the hallway. He just looks at you and he says, this isn't right. You shouldn't. what they're doing to you, what they did to you. It isn't right.
Vigo, I don't understand.
Listen to
Why are
me.
you speaking to me like this?
Listen to me, Evelyn. They have spent their entire lives molding you into a weapon. But you're a girl.
Oof.
You don't deserve to have this done to you. And I should have stopped it sooner. I'm sorry.
Just because I'm a girl doesn't mean I can't be a general, right?
And he just keeps dragging you down the hallway, and he says, Evelyn, I need you to listen. I need you to listen to me closely. We're going to go back to your quarters. You're going to pack a bag. And he's like whispering this to you, like in your ear, so that like no sensor is going to be able to pick this up. And he says, and I'm going to get you on a shuttle.
Okay, question. Did we escape secretly? Or I'm going to give a proposition maybe, is that he tries to get me off and get stopped by some guards and I kill the guards. And that's when I'm like, okay, there's no turning back now. I made my choice.
Let's play it out. I have an idea for that.
Okay.
So he's saying this, right? He's saying, and I'm going to get you on a shuttle and send you away from here. All right. I'm going to try to cover your tracks, and then I'll meet up with you on SWA. All right. On SWA. All right. The man system.
Yes.
Do you understand me, Evelyn?
Is that where the general will be?
Yeah, he says. I think you get in front of your quarters, like the door to your quarters, and he just grabs your shoulders, like turns so you're looking at him, and he says, do you trust me, Evelyn?
She kind of like looks around and as if like she's starting to get worried that like there's somebody after him or something like that.
Yeah.
But then she just looks straight into his eyes and she says, I trust you more than anybody in the world. Or she probably says universe, because people don't talk like that in space. I trust you more than anybody in the universe.
He winces. I'm not sure Evelyn understands body language enough at this point to get what's going on. And he says, then you have to listen to me, okay? This is all wrong. This was never supposed to happen. You've proven yourself admirably, but what they're going to make you do, no one should be forced to do that, let alone, especially not someone like you. You have a life.
Yeah.
You have a life to live. A normal life to live. And I want to give that to you if I can.
And what did he say?
And I want to give that to you if I can.
Normal. Like a civilian?
He doesn't.
And she says that as if like being a civilian is like
a downgrade.
Being a peasant.
Yeah. He doesn't answer that question, and he just says,
I mean, can I make a suggestion?
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't he just say, I want you to make your own choices?
Yeah. Okay.
Right? Like it's about freedom for him.
Yeah. So he looks at you and he's like biting his lip and like thinking about your question, like what he's going to say. And then he says, all of your life, you've been forced into a mold that they created for you, given powers that were not yours and you might not be able to handle. Evelyn, all I want for you is the freedom to make your own way. to decide whether or not you want to be this person. But one thing I know for sure is that even if this is the path you want to walk down, you don't want to walk it down with these men. You don't want to walk down it with these men.
Yeah. Can I walk it down with you?
And that is when two guards turn the corner and they say, Mr. Sora, I'm going to have to ask you to step away from Miss Leidner. And he just turns and he says, run. And that's when he pulls out his gun and fires on the dude. And so, basically, well, you're on Vigo's side, right? So like, you're not going to go against him. So if he's just shot a person, you're in now and you have to do what he says.
Do I have access to a weapon?
Probably not on your person currently, but if you step into your quarters briefly, like there'll be a weapon in there.
Yeah, she just goes and grabs a weapon and probably comes out with the gun, but I'm assuming Vigo's already killed him by then.
Yeah, probably. But you hear like, more footsteps in the distance and like alarms blaring and like people talking, and he looks at you and says, Evelyn, run. And then he dashes in the other direction, right? She
follows him. She doesn't understand. Like, she goes after him.
Yeah. And so I don't think he notices it first. And he turns the corner and there's like other soldiers coming. And Ulysses Salgado is like behind them. And he says, now, Mr. Sorum, no use getting cold feet now. And he's just like immediately just starts like, he starts firing. And I assume you probably go up behind him and like just are going to start firing too, right?
She goes up behind him and she has a moment where she has no clue what to do because she's been trained more than anything to not shoot this person specifically.
Yeah.
So she probably just like waits.
Yeah.
Like bullets, like lasers are flying by her head and she's just standing there like frozen.
And I think probably the thing, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think the thing that probably shocks you out of it, right, is Ulysses pulls out a pistol and shoots Vigo, right?
Yeah.
And he hits him in the shoulder and, Vigo like, grunts and holds his shoulder. And
how about the other soldiers are like down?
Yeah, I think so.
And Ulysses gets a shot on him and he like drops his weapon. And then there's like this moment, right, of like, haha, I got you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And Ulysses,
she screams like a primal scream. And she like unloads the entire blaster at him.
So you pull the gun up and click and like pull the trigger, and there's a little like sound, and a little red light comes up on your pistol, and it says invalid target. And Ulysses looks at you and then says,
"Oh my gosh,
Miss Leidner, come now."
She uses her see the future ability to dodge all of the bullets, and she jumps and tackles him to the ground and grabs the gun.
I don't think so, because I think what happens, right, is Vigo grabs you before you do that. Like you're standing there like, oh no, my gun doesn't work. And he grabs your arm and he says...
So she looks into the future and just sees him get up and grab her.
Well, I mean, this is also Evelyn like at level 0, right? So it's like, this is her not as in control with her powers yet too.
Yeah.
I think Vigo just grabs your arm and he says, Evelyn, what did I tell you? This is what he says. He just says, what did I tell you, soldier? Move it.
Where?
He already told you, right? He's like, shuttle. Like,
oh, right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. She just starts running. Yeah.
And we see him like click something on his like smartwatch or whatever. And like Evelyn, it goes to your little like data pad or whatever, like what shuttle to go to. And it already has program coordinates. Like he's been at least in the back of his mind planning something like this for a little while now. And he's finally just like gone ahead with the plan.
Last straw.
Yeah.
He's finally decided.
Exactly.
He's fell off the horse one way.
Yeah. And we just see Evelyn dash off to the shuttle, and the last thing we see is we see Vigo and Ulysses facing down against each other, and Vigo like with his bad shoulder like brings up his gun again, and Ulysses just like shakes his head and says, You're in no condition to defeat someone like me, Vigo. And I think, I'm trying to think, he probably says something like, you do realize there's no way that Evelyn is going to be able to leave this station. And Vigo just kind of like smiles slightly, and suddenly the power like goes out in the whole facility. And like Vigo's like had some sort of failsafe, to like basically make sure this escape can happen. And so emergency lights come on, but you get to we see you start to get to the shuttle and take off, and everything's like down except for the things that you need to get out. And when we cut back to Vigo and Ulysses,
there's like a power cell waiting in the shuttle,
or
something like that. Yeah,
and we see Ulysses and Vigo still in the corridor, and Ulysses just like is like frowning and looking at Vigo like, and then he like pulls up his whatever and tries to see what's going on, and by the time he gets it pulled up, we see the shuttle like out of range, like already off, and Vigo's like still grunting and just like holding his shoulder. Because I think he knows like he can't really kill this dude because he has like a bajillion nanites and all this other weird stuff that's like protecting him. Because Ulysses is like one of the most paranoid people on the planet in the sector. And we see them just like face off against each other, and Ulysses just like is shaking his head slowly, like his anger slowly building in his face, and he says, "Mr. Sorum, you have just made a grave mistake. I would just kill you, but something like this, the punishment will be much, much more severe. First, I'm going to have some fun." And then Ulysses like clicks a button, spins a dial on his pistol, points it at Vigo, and we just see everything go black. And the implication basically is that what happened to Vigo was done by Ulysses Salgado, right? The initial thing, and he eventually escaped, but like all his memories were scrambled and whatever else is happening.
Well, and I mean, especially based off of that, like he ends up being a replacement for Evelyn, and like they make clones of him, and like you know what I mean. Obviously, like Crawl is technically the replacement for Evelyn, but he's not as good. He's too unstable to be like the Imperium's dog. But Vigo ends up being an experiment too.
Well, so right? as a reminder, right? Vigo went off the grid for a while, even from Paragon, and it was only when the Order of the Dust was like, "Hey, can you help us with this weird soldier that something's bad's happening to him?" that Ulysses was like, "Yes, of course I can help you. I know who this person is."
Okay. So he ended up.
Vigo managed to escape. Yeah, exactly. And then went working with the Order of the Dust for a while.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the kind of holes we start to fill in now with this flashback.
Okay. Yeah.
And then we get to.
So I think. Yeah. Obviously, present day is what you're going to say.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah.
Okay. I think the way that Evelyn left Fergus becomes a lot more poignant now.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
She's like, "I'll see him again. Everything worked out last time."
Yeah. Except the last time Fergus didn't tell you to leave without him.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, so Evelyn, you're facing off against not facing off, but facing Vigo. And he says, "I remember everything."
Yeah, I think she like goes in to like hug him because she knows what physical affection is now.
Yeah.
And I think she's been like in her head been like, the more she's like learned what physical affection is and looks like, the more she's been like, I wish I could have hugged Vigo.
Yeah. And at first he's surprised by it, right? Like, because not that he doesn't care, he wouldn't hug someone, right? Like, because he would,
right.
But that you are hugging him because you've never been that sort of person. And so he at first,
I've always been a very different person than that. Yeah.
He's surprised, and then he seems pleased by it. Like, he's like, "Oh, good. Like she's acting like a normal human being, not like a robot. Yeah. That's actually really good." And then hugs you. And like just holds you close, and like we see his face like pressed into your hair, and he just says, "It is so good to see you, Evelyn."
Did I choose my own way? Did I do well?
He pulls you away, grasps your shoulders, and just says, I'm trying to think of what he would say to that. Because, like, he obviously doesn't want to, like, downplay anything, but he also doesn't know as much about what your actual story has been.
Right.
So I think he just says, you got away from them. You chose. You found your own family.
She kind of winces at the word family.
Just like I did, and he kind of like looks at his crew. Because he also
looks at dead Ada.
Well, yeah. Ada's gone into the ether, into a black hole, so you can't even really look at her. And he probably does have, we see a pang of pain on his face as he realizes that, or at least he looks at the remnants of his family and then looks back at you and says, there will be time to figure it all out. Okay?
Okay. But promise me. Please don't leave me behind again. Or actually, she wouldn't say that. She says, please don't ask me to leave you behind again.
He looks at you unsure for a moment, and he says, Evelyn, do you trust me?
She nods.
Then you'll trust that if I have to make a decision like that again, it's for the best. Just like it was back then, okay? I didn't want to leave you. But it led you here.
She just kind of nods like, I guess I disagree, but okay.
Yeah. He just doesn't want to promise you something that he's not going to be able to keep.
Yeah.
He's not expecting to like run away or anything, right? But he's just like, I can't, like,
I don't know.
I'm not gonna give you a rash promise, and then have to break it. So he just looks around at everybody else, and I think he says, I don't know how much time we have. And he looks at Fergus and Tamara Sladkova. I remember what it was like when Ulysses had me at Paragon. I learned a lot of horrible things about this world, about this galaxy.
He also knows.
Uh-huh.
What does he know?
The secret I've been keeping for like 4 years.
Yep.
Stinky.
So he's looking at Fergus and Tamara when he's saying this, right? He's like, I learned some horrible things under when I was with when Ulysses had me captured, and I knew horrible things before that, and that's why I know. And he looks back at you, Evelyn, that as much as I would like to stand here and go through everything that's happened since we left each other, I think we need to keep moving. We need to find those doctors. Because what's happening with these abilities is just the tip of the iceberg.
What does he mean by should I know what he means by what's happening with these abilities?
He's most likely referencing like the weird
Psychic
advanced
abilities?
MES stuff that's happening.
Okay.
Right. And he looks at you, Fergus, like trying to get your attention when he says this.
Oh, Fergus is off in a corner crying because Rick's gone.
Right. Okay. So he's looking at Tamara then. And he says, what's happening to you is a large piece of an even larger puzzle. And we need to fill in those slots. And he just like stands straight, looks at everyone and says, all right, I want this place cleared in 10 minutes. We have some scientists to find.
I guess Evelyn nods and gets to work.
Yeah. Does anybody else have any responses to this?
I mean, I'm probably trying to figure out what's wrong with Fergus.
Sure. Yeah, we can kind of pan over there for a second.
Yeah.
So Fergus, you're literally crying because Rick is gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
so yeah.
What's wrong? What's going on? Are you okay?
He's gone. Oh, he's gone.
Who's he? Who's gone?
My new best friend. He's dead.
We just hear some
forever.
We hear some soft piano that is like a cover of Never Gonna Give You Up playing in the background in a minor key.
I'm not sure what you mean. Do I even know what that means? I don't think I understand.
Probably no. Yeah.
No.
Sorry. I'm sure.
No, maybe you say, your brother's right there. He survived. Maybe
well, he said Rick's gone, and I'm like,
I don't know if you know his brother's name.
Maybe I don't.
I'm sure we've covered that.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
We had we've had multiple introductions.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Balvin probably. Well, but your brother's alive, right? Weren't you gonna make him a body? Maybe we can think about that instead of. I mean, I don't remember who Rick is. Do I know who Rick is?
You're right. Rick wouldn't want me to dwell on the past.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sure that's true.
You want me to keep fighting?
Yeah. It's gonna be okay. Still don't know who Rick is.
You would want me to never give up.
You always know how to cheer me up.
Thanks. I'm like, wow, I can't believe that worked. All right, great. Not out loud, but also, did we see? Is it Ada?
I mean, yeah, you saw a black hole suck a bunch of people in, and you don't know where Ada is now, right? So you there are several people that must have gotten sucked in there because they are no longer here.
Okay. Yeah, we should probably go. I don't know what happened or if it's going to happen again, but we should probably not be here in case it does. So, yeah.
Am I able to put together what happened, or should I roll a no or?
What part of it will you not understand, you think?
What caused it?
I think it's easy enough to guess that the death of a giant psychic entity caused something weird.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's not too far of a stretch, especially because you had the internal stuff that was happening with Rick that you were experiencing, so. Yeah. Dylan, you responding at all to anything that's happening here?
We don't know what kind of response she'd have.
Yeah, that's fine.
I feel like Dylan. Yeah, this is really related to Dylan, so she's kind of backseat.
Yep.
For the time being.
Sure. Yep. Cool. So Vigo's trying to get everybody rounded up and kind of get things moving, and I guess the Void's Grace and the shuttle are both working, right? No, the shuttle got
the shuttle's
sucked into the void. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the Void's Grace got. Was it just the gun that got, or was it
No, the Void's Grace got a big rip in it as well because the gun backfired on the So it's still, I think, drivable, probably.
But it's not spaceable.
No, not spaceable. Yeah, it's certainly not spaceable.
Convenient. Yeah.
Till's gonna kill me.
Yeah, I winced a little as you say that. I'm like, hopefully.
Vigo comes up to you, Ode, and says, you and Fergus, probably because you're next to each other, and says, is your ship still flyable? We'll probably want to use its scanners to try to find where these people are on this planet.
Probably depends on your definition of flyable.
Can it function in atmosphere at least?
Probably.
All right. Can you get it prepped and ready to go?
Probably.
He looks at Lucy and says, help the kids out, Luce. And Lucy nods, and he steps over and he says, so there's more to this than you told us. You were a person before this. That's what I've gathered by all of this. And Vigo slowly nods and he says, I'll fill you in as soon as I can, Luce, but for now we need to find these doctors. Lucy just nods. All right. Yes, Captain, sir. Yes, sir, Captain, sir. And then, goes over to help you with the Void's Grace, and I'm assuming everybody just kind of like gets ready to go and head off. Any conversations you guys want to have during this time is totally fine as well. If you want like any details filled in or questions you have for anyone.
I think at some point while Evelyn is packing up something somewhat near Fergus, she just kind of like looks over at him and like kind of blushes and looks back down, and then without looking at him, she just says, "Thanks for saving me, Fergus."
Super hearing is not one of my abilities, unfortunately.
I mean, it could be.
Is that what you say?
You're basically a conjurer.
Oh, no, I thought you were saying it so that I couldn't hear.
No, she's
just not looking at you.
Yeah.
She says,
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I think Fergus is. Yeah, no, he's not. He's still caught up with Rick. So he doesn't really say anything back to that.
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure she said that.
Cool. Yeah.
And I
so
don't think I saw you heal her, right? I don't know that happened. So
I didn't heal her. I pulled her out from getting.
Right. That. Yeah. I don't remember if I saw that happen. So I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think Ode would be able to tell from the Void's Grace up in the sky that happened. Yeah. Obviously, Fergus knew and Evelyn knew because she could feel it. But yeah,
of course, yeah.
Yep. So Vigo, once everybody's kind of ready to go, and everybody's kind of like getting ready on the Void's Grace, he just looks at everybody and says, "There's going to be time for further explanations as we get down the road here, but we need to finish what we started on this planet, and we need to find Mr. Anger and the rest of the doctors. There's something going on with this MES." With this advanced MES that they're going to be able to fill us in on and help with. I don't know as much as them, but I know enough to know that this is a problem. It's something that Ulysses has known about for a while. Well, knew about. It looks at you, Evelyn, because it's like, oh yeah, he got killed. Knew about for some time and was using to his advantage. It's really how the program got started in the first place. He noticed this phenomena happening and used it to siphon extra nanites, more powerful nanites than usual, and transfer them to other people. And then he looks at you, Evelyn, and just, you can see concern in his eyes. And he says, I am worried that if we don't figure out what's wrong, anyone with psychic abilities is going to be at risk for this.
Going to be at risk for what?
Exploding, dying, snapping
what just
into
the
insanity.
MES stuff, right? Yeah. Or just generally. Yeah.
Basically, going mad and killing everyone you love.
Okay.
It's
I mean,
not a good time.
I'm not trying to guess at the end or possibly give unbeknownst to me, possibly give spoilers to our listeners. But I mean, I feel like really the only way for a happy ending with all of our characters is for us to lose our abilities, right? That's kind of the...
Well, it will kind of depend on what we find out, because we know something of what psychic powers are, but we don't really know the origins of them. Like, why did they come into existence in the first place? Like, what happened in the old order before the collapse that, like, how did they come about? Like, and I think that piece will probably fill us in on whether or not they're, like, benign or whether or not they're, like, inherently bad and should be gotten rid of. And that's still something we don't know yet. So,
okay.
Yeah, whether or not it's something that can be controlled, whether it's just like neutral technology, or if it's like an abomination that humanity should never have messed with.
Yeah.
And we can kind of.
The funny thing is,
good.
The funny thing is, I feel like there's a 50% chance that you know the answer to that.
Well, that's I was literally just about to say, I'm interested. I have some ideas either way, but I'm interested in the idea of us talking about that as a group.
Yeah,
right?
kind of exploring
like,
that as
exploring the philosophy
characters.
and ethics of it.
Yeah.
Figuring out whether or not this could be, because like the more specifically, the more I've thought about like what Fergus can do with his abilities, the more I'm just like, this isn't good. Like, no one should have this sort of power over the human body. But whether or not that means biopsionics is inherently bad, or whether or not there's just certain aspects of it that should be off limits to humans, that's still something we have to kind of like explore together. So,
yeah,
cool. So, we see you guys get in the Void's Grace, and head out, I suppose.
So, do we have some idea where we're going?
Yeah, so Vigo is talking to Lucy. At this point, you guys are, whoever wants to be can be in the cockpit at this point on the bridge. And
definitely.
I'm wherever Vigo is.
Sure, yeah. He's just explaining like, okay, Lucy, if you could do some bioscans, and we'll just do a sweep of the planet, I guess. Take quadrants, do some. They have to be somewhere in this vicinity. Maybe doing a spiral pattern as we go outward. Whatever you think would be best. And Lucy's just thinking about it for a second, and he's gonna attempt something. He's gonna like start attempting something. But Fergus, you know that you're way better at this sort of stuff than he is. So if you wanted to butt in and try
I found him.
Okay, yeah. Jerry just rolled and got a 13. So yeah, I think that's probably what happened. Yeah, Lucy's like starting to set up something, and you're in the co-pilot seat, Fergus, right? And you've already just like input a program and and scanned. And yeah, found life signals. So,
so just life signal. I mean, there's people who live on this planet, right? Just not a lot of them.
Yes, but Fergus probably finds the. Probably not the only signal. Okay, so there's a good.
The best signal.
The most likely candidate.
Right one.
Yeah.
Well, the strongest signal, right? Because the people on this planet are primitives, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably finds some sort of.
They're a more primitive race. They're not spaceborn or anything.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're TL3. So they are like, but it's like Apocalypse TL3. So they have like machine guns and stuff, but like they don't have a infrastructure or anything. They just have like leftover technology that they're using in like an apocalyptic sense. They can't really build it as well. But yeah, so. Fergus probably finds like TL4 signals, which should signify that that's where they are, right? So it's like whether or not they had a data pad with them or something. That's the sort of stuff that like would key you into. Probably the doctors.
So Fergus, how many gigantic psychic sky gods are in between us and that thing, that signal? Just so we're not surprised this time.
I'm pretty sure there was just the one.
Okay. Those sound like some good last words. How certain are you exactly? Just
Caleb, how certain am I?
Just because like when we bioscanned the area last time, we somehow missed the spaceship sized thing. So
yeah, the issue is it's a different. Fergus found it. He knew it existed.
Did?
Yeah, he did.
I don't remember knowing there was a giant monster until it was trying to kill us.
We just didn't know whether or not it was, hostile.
Yeah, I mean, he sensed it like
immediately
far
flying
below
to
the
sky
earth.
and- yeah.
That was the thing. He sensed what he probably assumed was a sandworm that couldn't
Alaskan
fly,
sandworm.
right?
I don't remember that, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, let me see if I can find what I'm looking for here in terms of. Yeah, this is probably the map I want. Okay, cool. Fergus, yeah, the as to the Ode's question, you can make a telepathy check to do that, right? To like signify or find out whether or not there is any psychic god between you and them. Yeah, 6, not so much. Cool. Yeah, sounds good.
Somewhere between 0 and 12. Cool, useful, thanks.
So, I've been going back and forth on a couple of ideas here as to what this planet really is about with all that stuff. You guys help me crowdsource this. What do you think is more interesting? The two ideas I've had is, like, there are a bunch of giant things like this, right? And they have metascions, like native metascions that help them shield themselves from these giant things so that they can safely go around. Or was that thing their like protector? And now that it's dead, there are other weirder, badder things that are gonna start coming out. Which one is more interesting, you think? Like, did you
I think
help?
the protector is more interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably more
I don't
interesting
really
if
want
like
to fight more of those things. That just sounds awful.
But he just said worse things were coming.
Well, he
not,
just said
not worse
weirder.
things, but like
Oh.
the sort of stuff
in
that
terms of like more apocalyptic evil creatures, and this thing killed the apocalyptic evil creatures.
yes,
So we just
exactly.
killed the Lord Ruler, and now
And
we're
now
in
Ruin is
trouble.
going to come out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or whether or not it's the Sixth of the Dusk planet, and there's a bunch of psychic monsters that can find you with their minds, and you need the bird to save you.
Yep. Well, yeah. So I think that sounds cool.
Yeah, so I think it makes sense then. Like, the thing attacked you because you were foreign entities, right? And
Mhm.
you killed it, and now the natives that it protected are now vulnerable. But that
Maybe
means
it didn't like Rick. It sensed Rick and was like, "This is a bad thing."
yeah. And I think there is going to be something between you and them that it was protecting them from as well. I'm trying to think what that is. It's likely something that's like smaller, right? Like multiple smaller things. You guys have any ideas? I'm running on fumes today in terms of energy,
Sure.
so I'm just.
How about the 11th Colossi or Colossus?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you're saying the big thing was protecting the people here from
the
little
natives
things?
from some other psychic thing, probably, right?
Right.
Not necessarily like a ruin force of destruction, but
Maybe it's less like creepy monsters and more like
Blood.
phenomena, right? Like it was stabilizing psychic
What about
energy or
phenomena?
something. Phenomena. So like maybe
yeah.
stuff's gonna start going really out of whack in the area or something like that. I don't know.
A nanite storm.
Love it. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go with
Psychic
that.
rain.
We're gonna go with that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Dang it.
So you guys are flying in the Void's Grace, right? And the hole that's kind of like in the ship, right? It's very loud in the Void's Grace right now because there is a hole in it. But luckily there's atmosphere, so you're not like worried about suffocating or anything. But there was a giant hole.
Awkward conversation.
Yeah, there is a giant hole in the Void's Grace, which means that you can't go into space right now.
Are there like special spaceship sealing like patches?
Yes, probably. If you have enough time, you can have Till's drones fix it. You're going to need some more materials probably, but
Well, I was thinking of just I don't have any uncommitted effort. I was thinking of just doing sense the need and just having one, but it's fine.
I don't think you could have the materials necessary.
Fabricated piece of hull because
No.
we'll probably need it.
You can't just grab that from wherever.
Well, no, like a little patch that like
No,
seals it.
it's literally like one of the sides of the ship. So let's see, Void's Grace map. Let's find that real quick.
I mean, it's fine. I
I like
maybe there
we
was
don't
like
need to worry about fixing it. We already have. I mean, I'm sure the drones are like working on it, but it's going to be a while.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think mainly it's like they just don't have the materials necessary right now, so they're kind of like on standby waiting for that. But it's
Fergus is
basically along
hacking
the
them.
lines of, you shot the gun from here, right? And the kickback on that kind of ripped like hole in the hull along the right side of the ship here. So there's like, it's probably like in the ceiling, right? Like, so there's like the ceiling along the kitchen and the bedroom and the engine room are just like open to the desert sky. And big hole, rip and tear in the top of the hole.
Rip and tear.
Yeah.
There's a thing in the Expanse to do where they like put up plastic barriers to pressurize the thing. So we might have something like that.
Yeah, some sort of temporary solution is
plastic.
Definitely,
So
not
like
atmospheric or not void worthy.
Right. Yeah.
So
it probably wouldn't help us right now, anyways. So.
Exactly. Yeah. And so that means you have a giant rip. And as you're on your way there, suddenly, Lucy just like frowns, looks at the panel, and says, "We have some sort of cloud up ahead. It seems more solid than it looks. At least that's what the scanners are saying." And I guess he looks to you, Fergus.
What should I? Okay, can I telepathy to see what it is?
No,
Fergus thinks this is another Rick.
I think you've already failed telepathy.
Oh yeah, program.
Yeah, but you can roll program to try to do a scan.
I don't have I have very little effort left. So I don't
Fergus, what do your psychic eyes see? Is it a bunch of?
They're taking the doctors to Isengard.
Yeah, there you go.
13 again. Fergus likes rolling 13s on his program.
Yeah. It's an unlucky number, but in this game it's pretty solid. So
This is pretty solid.
So with a 13, Fergus, you are aware now that it is a cloud of nanites. Though you realize that you should have sensed it before, but probably Rick's absence is throwing you off, right?
Yeah, like a third of his mind, like palace, was like ripped out by force.
Yeah. And
so this is a little bit weird because this is exactly how Rick came to us the first time.
It's true. I think Fergus is able to suss out with the program roll that like this is similar to the Rick Astley nanite cloud, except what you've probably been able to piece together, Fergus, is the giant psychic god probably was in control of the planet's psychic defenses in the same way that Evangelia was in control of the dome's defenses, but it like did it for like an entire planet. And now that it's dead, the psychic defenses are kind of taking on their own intelligence and just trying to go off whatever their last programming was, and probably starting to break down with that. And so they're going to defend against intruders, which is you. But they're going to have no discernment.
Slaughtering all of the people on the ground.
They might be. You don't know. You're not close enough to the signal yet. At the very least, Fergus, you can probably guess that given enough time, the defenses will turn on the natives as well.
Okay. I've got bad news, worse news, and horrible news. Which one do you want to hear first?
I think Vigo just says, "Give it to us." Give
it to us all at the same time.
Yes, exactly.
Well, when we killed the god, they released something just as bad, if not worse, because we can't shoot it. And it's like a sandstorm's worth of nanites.
Yeah, this planet sucks.
And I think they're gonna murder all of us.
We have this sand thrower that like is right. You can use that.
It's
still attached.
It's like throwing pocket sand.
I was gonna say
at a sandstorm.
Lucy's just shaking his head. He's like, "Listen, that's like throwing sand against metal sand."
I mean, it's for destroying spaceships. They can't be hardier than the spaceship is, right?
I mean, the 5 square feet of nanites you hit, as opposed to the 1,000,000 square feet there is. But
I mean, the sand thrower's designed to hit lots of stuff. That's what it's for.
It is, yeah. You can try it. It's just no guarantee it's going to work.
Yeah, I'm also not sure if it's still attached to the ship or not. So that's my other
there probably is going to have to be a roll to get it back online.
No, so no is probably the answer. Okay, well,
who was the best fix? I guess is the answer.
Just have Fergus make the program roll again.
It's
I mean,
a fix.
the thing is,
Oh, it's a fix for all. Yeah,
the laser is good against a single target, not
The laser's
No, yeah.
destroyed.
Oh.
Yeah, the sand thrower is good against lots of stuff.
The Hephaestus
Oh.
engine just destroyed the entire apparatus.
yeah.
But I mean, considering the last time we shot the psychic thing, it just made another psychic thing.
Yeah.
Maybe
Oh.
there's a better answer.
So
Hey, I think we forgot about somebody.
Who?
Where's Akodo?
I mean,
Coda.
Akodo's probably just like distressed, like and depressed,
Yeah.
hanging around everyone. She doesn't say a whole lot,
Okay.
but she just comes with you.
So
yeah,
she's just kind
every
of
single
following along.
person she knows was slaughtered.
There's probably a lot of live now, grieve later going on, I think.
Uh-huh. And
Generally
she-
on the
and
ship.
She basically just listened to
And the other
Vigo's
guy-
orders. Yeah, she just
Yeah.
listened to Vigo's orders and was like, "Okay, sounds good. I'm just listening to you now."
And her or the guy she was interested in, he died too, right?
Yeah.
He imploded.
She's the only one left of the White Side Brotherhood here.
Did he implode?
Yeah, he
Okay.
went into
Just checking.
the void.
Sorry, I needed a little bit of a recap.
So can we like stop flying towards it and make a plan?
No. Keep flying towards it.
Yeah, you can
That's
slow down the
what-
ship and attempt to buy yourself a little time. Then
All right.
it's definitely coming towards you, but
Fergus goes and gets the whiteboard.
okay, you don't have that much
Fantastic.
time.
Oh,
You have time for a very quick, like 1 minute brainstorming session, but that's it.
okay.
You use your hollow whiteboard.
I
Just
got
pull
a
it out.
couple ideas, but does anyone want to go first? Before I tell you how bad those ideas are.
And we do like what
Can
is
anybody
the,
fix?
what's the name for it? The crying baby or whatever it's called. Can we like yeet a psychic signal that way?
I'm pretty
Maybe
sure the
it'll go eat that.
only person with fix was Till.
Yeah, probably.
Ziva
you
has
used,
fix.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
think.
and
I don't think
Z-
Ziva's
I
gonna
believe-
be-
Ziva and
I
Dylan
have it, but
yeah.
not very good.
Ziva and Dylan both have it at 0. So I mean, yeah, it makes sense for Dylan to do that. If you'd like to fix the sand thrower, Dylan.
What did I miss? while I
So
was putting
there's a
babies?
giant. So think at first like it's like, oh, there's a big sandstorm headed our way, and oh no, it's actually a cloud of nanites.
Yay!
So what are we fixing
Nanite
then?
party.
Yeah. So the idea that Ode had was to shoot the sand thrower at it, which is like basically like a ship shotgun.
Can we just call it the sand blaster? That just sounds more competent.
Sure.
The sand thrower sounds like Jared described earlier, a pocket sand.
I mean, that's essentially what it would be unless we hook up the Hephaestus engine to it.
Well, no, I
Even-
mean it's
even
actually
that.
like super good at killing like fighter ships and stuff. So I mean,
Yeah, but these are like pebble-sized things,
Right, but they're
like
in
an
a
ocean
cloud.
of pebbles.
so,
Yes, a cloud, but like a sandstorm size.
It's all in the roll, guys. It's all in the roll.
Yeah, it's
what
a
I'm telling you is
possibility.
it has the flak rule, so maybe it'll work.
Exactly, it's a possibility.
Okay.
So yeah, Dylan, if you
What attribute?
fix with intelligence.
I'll be right back.
I think my computer's having a hard time getting through my
Yeah, you broke. You're back now, though. Kinda. We can hear you still.
Should I eat the storm, Connor?
Eat the storm?
Yeah.
Like Kirby, just like sucking. Fergus definitely has Kirby vibes. I'm realizing.
Did you watch the Kirby video I sent you?
Think so.
No.
I'm gonna send it. Yeah, because
Yeah, a
I
10
don't know
is
if it's just taking forever to roll or if I.
it rolled. I see it.
Oh, okay.
It's a 10.
Yeah, so a 10 I think is going to be good enough to fix it temporarily, so you can get a shot off, but it will probably decommission itself again after you shoot it. So, Ode Ode would be the person to try this, but Ode could attempt to get a shot off and try to debilitate the cloud. Fergus, what is your other idea then? You're just going to try to eat it?
Well, that's one idea, or try to like hack them. Either hack them or control them via telepathy or telekinesis.
Both ideas that are plausible for Fergus, certainly.
Yeah.
So yeah, would this be something you would try after Ode shot it?
Yeah.
Or
What?
before?
I mean, I assume the flat cannon would be our last line of defense.
Sure,
'Cause if
that'd be the
we're
last
close
thing to
enough
try.
to use the flat cannon.
That's
we're
true.
going to
I'm sorry. What is that called? The what cannon?
flat
Flak.
cannon or sand blaster, sand annihilator, whatever.
No. What's the name of it?
The actual name is Sand Thrower.
Did you say flap blaster?
Flak.
Fleck blaster.
Flak.
Flack.
Yeah, flak cannon. It's like shooting like debris and shrapnel.
Oh, okay. I've never heard that before. It's fine.
FLAK.
I thought you were saying flap cannon, and I was like, we have a pancake thrower? I'm so confused. What kind of weapons? A sand thrower? A pancake blaster? What is this? What is this built?
Well,
with?
Fergus was the one who had the drones fix up the ship. He may have made some
Yeah.
upgrades. He got the kitchen programming and the weapons programming switched around. And
What do we have in the kitchen, man?
bullets for breakfast.
I'm sorry, watching the Kirby video. Oh, it's so upsetting.
Okay, all right. What are we doing?
We're waiting
I
for
think it
David.
sounded like Fergus wanted to try his thing first, right? Because flak cannon's going to be last, right?
I mean,
Unless you don't want to try that.
should I try to just add the thing to my repertoire?
You could try. I think the thing you know from your program roll earlier is that this is definitely not going to be as easy as other
right.
things that you've tried, mainly because this is not a singular mind. This is like a piece of a mind spread, and there's several pieces spread out over a whole planet. So
I want to use program to combine the mind into one, and then.
So you want
use
to roll program to get access to the actual mind, and
Yeah.
then roll telepathy to try to eat it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's an attempt you can make.
Does anyone on this boat have program?
Besides you, I think Evelyn does, or maybe she just has no.
No, I do not.
You have no. Yeah, that's what it was.
Does pilot guy and or sad lady?
Sad lady. Akoto?
Akoto,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or Akoto. It's Akoto, isn't it?
Yeah, I need. Where's the
Akoto
Lucy,
doesn't.
Akoto, or the explodey lady?
Lucy might. Let me check. Oh, I need to move Ada to dead.
Or Ada. What about Ziva? Does Ziva have program? Be useful, Ziva.
She might. All right. Lucy. Yes, he has program at 2. So yeah, he would probably help you here.
Oh, does he have a? Does he have hacker?
No. So he's an NPC.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have a whole list of skills. It's just like or focuses or anything. So program. He can help you if you want. What are you telling him to do?
All right, Lucy, bear with me. So this, AI program defense thing has fractured into multiple different personalities. So what we're going to do is combine them into one, and then I'm going to eat it with my brain. So you won't have to help me with the second part of that, but
I'm sorry. What?
I forget I said the second part of that. Just focus on the first part.
You want me to help you reconnect the defenses of this planet so it will be more intelligent and will be able to kill us easier? Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, more easy to bring down.
That
Is what
doesn't seem like what's going to happen.
You gotta crack a few eggs to make a space omelet.
Make a talk roll.
I'm good at that.
You are, yeah.
Would this be intelligent since I'm talking?
No, it's charisma.
That's sad. 7's not great.
7's not great. Did you get a 1 on any of those?
No, almost.
Sad day. Yeah, 7. I don't think he's gonna help you. I think he's like, I don't think that's a good idea.
Okay. You got an idea? That'd be cool. Oh,
I could just
no?
try to evade it.
Okay.
Evasive maneuvers.
Yes, evading a cloud.
I mean, how hard could it be? It can't move that fast, right? Not as fast as a spaceship.
Okay. We're dead.
Yeah.
I think that.
You gonna try it anyway?
Should I? Well, I mean, I don't know how I could make the situation worse.
Well, you could die, so there's that.
I mean, with a programming roll. I think that would kill me.
So Ode, you hear Dylan from the gunnery say, "Fix the flat cannon."
Oh, awesome.
Nice.
Cool. Good job. I guess we'll set up there for when everything
Yeah,
goes
so that's
badly.
exactly that. And Fergus was already saying, he's like, that's probably our last attempt that we're gonna do is once it gets close enough to shotgun blast it. That's what we'll try last ditch effort. Yeah, so Fergus, are you gonna try that program then?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yes. Stupid butthead not helping me.
Yeah, he thinks it's a terrible idea. Oh, 15.
Oh, I can do whatever
Holy
I
moly.
want.
Yeah, so Fergus, you're trying to do what exactly? Reconnect.
So I'm trying to reconnect like the fragmented AI pieces into one to help me with my telepathy roll.
Okay, so the thing you find out as you hack into the code of this defense system is that there really aren't enough pieces here to connect together. What has happened is there's a rudimentary AI system that is in charge of the defense system, but the psychic god beast thing was the thing actually directing it. So it's like the thing has the instincts of a beast, it has some sort of like instinctual programming, but doesn't have a true intelligence. It's a VI, not an AI. And you can't just create an AI where there was none unless you had something that you could put there. The only two things that come to mind for me are your own consciousness or Evangelia's consciousness.
Can I propose something
Sure.
that I think you probably already are capable of with a 15?
Mm-hmm.
Could you just be like, all right, if this thing is hunting down, I don't know, psychic signals or bio signals, can you just tell the defense system that there's bio and psychic signals everywhere, and then it'll just scatter everywhere and not be, oh, hello, and then not be a problem anymore?
Yeah. That's
Am I allowed
one
to
idea.
change my intent after rolling?
That won't involve dying horribly by absorbing it with your brain.
Yeah, that's true. His intent here was to try to like reconnect the system.
Yeah. I mean, I was flavoring it to give my telepathy an advantage.
Right. Yeah. So you can roll a different program to try to attempt what Ode is proposing here, or what David is proposing here. But right now with a 15, that's what you know. And you can take the next step if you want to, and the 15 will still ride. Well, I guess you'll have to make a telepathy roll either way at this point to basically. So there's two different options I see here. One is implanting or creating or whatever, assembling some sort of rudimentary consciousness for it to run off of. Or
duplicate my own brain.
Yeah, so that's one option, something like you did with Evangelia, but with yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you could attempt to make you or Evangelia the new psychic god of the place in the same way that the beast was that you killed. Right? So you're not gonna permanently connect your brain to it, but you will be in charge of it. That's an attempt you could do.
What would be harder?
Probably the copying thing. I mean, you'd have to get the Hephaestus engine out again and try to do something with that.
To copy my brain?
Yeah, I don't think the Void's Grace has the tech to be able to do something like that.
I just thought that would be a telepathy roll, not a...
No, because before you did it with Till's help, remember? There was like a program you were running.
Oh yeah, that's because Evangelia was an AI.
No, Evangelia was a person. Remember? She's an actual person with a psychic brain.
Okay.
There were two pieces here. You were doing psychic stuff, but there was also a technological component because of the dome or the like thing her brain was connected to.
Okay.
The like helmet chamber thing she was in.
Odin, remember how you told me to like chill and all that?
It sounds a
Yeah.
lot like you're not going to be chill.
All right, so I have a couple. I'm just gonna, throw a few ideas out there.
And the cloud is
Okay.
just getting closer and closer.
I could do what I did with Evangelia, but like with my own brain and make like two of me, but make like one of me like the new AI like controller thing. Or I could like try to telepathically like dominate them like the big space worm.
Yeah, I don't really know what either of those things mean. One of those sounds a lot more straightforward than the other. Can you just tell them to go away?
Oh, I never thought about that. I'll roll a thing to make them go away.
You just want to do that instead.
Yeah. I needed someone to tell Fergus to do that.
Yeah. Fergus always thinks
That's
too
what I
big.
needed.
Yeah.
But how can it make me stronger? How about we just don't die first?
Yeah, so the
Fergus
idea
was good at macro, not micro.
exactly. So the idea is then you're just going to use a different program role to just hack into its code and tell it like there's stuff everywhere and kind of just dissipate it in such a way.
I'm going to tell him that there's a bunch of psychic energy coming like a nearby volcano or something.
Got it. Okay.
There you go.
13.
13 is good enough to at least, get it getting away from you for now. There might be a time where you trip something bigger, but I think the cloud is getting pretty close, and then it just like kind of parts around you like the
Red Sea.
water, like the Red Sea, and then just disappears off into the sandy sky.
That was so much easier than my idea.
Good job, Fergus.
Yeah, and I think Ziva was like in the gunnery with Dylan, like helping her, giving her wrenches and things as she was fixing it. And Ziva comes back out, has like grease smudged on her face, and she looks at you, and says, "So you're not going to shoot anything?"
I mean, never say never, but like not right now.
Okay.
I mean, we shot something a minute ago and we almost imploded psychically, so I feel like we can maybe pace ourselves.
Yeah, and that was awesome. I wanted to see it again.
Well, I mean, a lot of people died because of that, so maybe
it was-
not want to see that again.
Pretty not great, actually. I mean, I'm usually all for shooting things, but that didn't go so great.
Yeah, and she kind of like frowns, like she wasn't really thinking through all the implications of it, because she's like literally 12, and she was just
Right.
like, "Oh, right." And just seems to have a little mental crisis as she thinks about death and mortality.
Right.
Because like really, I mean, she was down there with everyone, and
Yeah.
but was saved pretty quickly and didn't really know anyone who died. So it was like
Right.
probably not like a thing she's been
Out of sight,
thinking
out of
about.
mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was Evan I think Evelyn caught her, or did she just make her own save? I don't remember.
I think she successfully did it herself. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So
Cool.
maybe we should land before they come back.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah. We just see a distant, dormant volcano, and the the nanites just like go into the crater and disappear. Cool. So, the Void's
And
Grace.
then the volcano erupts.
we may see some shakiness of the camera as it cuts away from that scene.
Yep.
Then we have to fight lava nanites.
Giant lava monster appears from the volcano, powered by nanites. There's like a nanite
God.
force field that's keeping the lava together as like an elemental. Writing that
Oh,
down. Anyway,
Yeah, there you go.
so the Void's Grace. Can you guys see this map that I'm on currently?
Yep.
Cool. The Void's Grace
assume
lands
so.
in this like big sandy area outside this. It's right up against like the canyon wall, right? So that like sandy kind of badlands area. I think Tatooine, in terms of like sandy desert canyon stuff. And yeah, there's like some sort of fort kind of built into the side of this. It's definitely TL4 or 5 technology, but it's like left over from something. Like it's obviously dilapidated and just used by the natives. as like a ruin. You don't see anyone immediately outside or anything. So nothing immediately jumps out. You kind of land there, and you see this ahead of you. Just various like little buildings, a satellite dish, other stuff like that. It's all dilapidated and ruined and slightly damaged. But it's kind of quiet. You know, there's life coming from inside somewhere, but.
Are we sure this is the right place?
Fergus, you know it's the right place.
Probably.
Cool. All right. I guess we should go. Let's go.
Yeah, I think Vigo steps off and just like walks forward as well.
You're the only one with a token, David.
I go in alone.
And I think what happens is you guys probably get like in the middle here, right? And this door opens, right? It slides open, and you see Robin Enger, Ode's dad. And there is a dude in like, sandy desert clothing, turban, mask, goggles, holding a blaster to his head, kind of like as a hostage situation, like kind of stepping out, right? And he says something in like a slang that you guys don't really understand at first. Fergus probably does. You have like all languages, right, Fergus?
Basically.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact word.
You probably understand what's being said, but it's like a weird like native dialect that's been devolved from English over time. I'm thinking like the street slang that Spook had in the first Mistborn, that sort of kind of weird grammar that has developed. But he says something along the lines of that Fergus at least
make him have a
this.
Cockney accent. That's devolved.
He says, he says something that you understand, Fergus, as like don't take another step forward or I'll shoot.
I translate that directly into David's mind with telepathy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Ode probably freezes because for when he's seeing his dad, and also, it's not great.
Vigo, not knowing that you did this, just kind of like holds out a hand and then just says, "Listen," but he can still obviously tell this is a hostage situation. He says, "Listen now, there's no need for violence. We can talk this out. We're friends. We're not trying to hurt anyone."
And I'm like, don't worry, I got this. Hey, you daft git.
Yeah, so you use his slang back.
Yeah, that's a friendly greeting.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys all hear it as like some horrible slur, and it's actually just like normal. And the guy just like again like kind of shuffles the gun, presses it against his head again, and says, not a step more. What are you doing on Demedes?
What are we doing on Demedes?
You're not wanted here. Well, you're looking for this guy.
Oh yeah.
I would like to interject real quick because I told Caleb this joke off screen and he told me I had to say it on screen. Every time is the name of this planet, all I think is have to meet these.
like an Arby's commercial. We have Demedes.
Oh man. Amazing.
Love it.
I think I just woke up our baby in the other room by laughing so hard.
Cool. Yeah. What are you guys saying?
Well, now I'm just thinking about army.
Trying to decide.
Yeah, because like I mean, Ode could try to do some like quick shot sort of thing and just like kill him.
You can do that. Otherwise, I'm just going to talk in a more Cockney accent. Offend me.
It's going to get more and more Cockney until all British listeners stop.
So mechanically, since I have the thing where I always go first, can I, if I do a thing, can I go before he shoots?
Of course, yeah.
Okay. Then I'm going to read this thing again before I do it. Hold on.
Vigo is looking at you, Fergus, and just saying, "Do you understand what he's saying?"
Yeah, they have some primitive devolved form of space English.
Yes, I could tell as much. He's holding him hostage, I assume.
Yeah, he says if we step. Oh, sorry, I'm devolving. Yeah, he says if we go further, they're gonna shoot him.
So what? Does he want us to leave?
Yo, bro, if you want us to get out of here.
I refuse to play along with that accent.
Hello. It's already been established.
No, I already said what it was, and you didn't
You
listen.
said it was a devolved form of English.
Yeah, I said
what I'm doing.
it sounded like it's like a weird like grammar structure, not like a
exactly
accent. It's
Mark,
way
can
more
you
like
go?
it's way more like Yoda's speech than a Cockney British.
Oh,
accent.
I can do that. Leave we must.
Gosh.
Would you rather play that game with me?
How far can you run around? It's 10 meters, right? And this
10
is
meters.
feet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry, I'll change
Oh, okay.
the squares. That's the default. So.
Okay.
So each.
Because each square is 2 meters, right?
Yep.
You can move 10 meters normally, is that right?
Yeah, 10 as a regular move action.
And where is he at?
He's right at the door, basically. Yeah, right there.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So I will, like, all you guys are basically, while they're talking, he is going to, I mean, for color, I'll probably just kick in the Tempest Fugate thing right away, but mechanically I'm not going to because that doesn't make sense. So basically, yeah, like the yellow light creeps up his arm into the base of his spine, and his eyes start to burn white or yellow or whatever. And yeah, so I'm gonna run. I mean, I can go 20 as a full, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So basically, I'm just gonna zip over there, and that's my whole first turn. So then, what?
Never mind. I didn't realize you made an action.
I mean, should we roll initiative here?
Well, so
I don't think it's gonna matter.
yeah, David,
I could basically just do this until I win. It's just a question of how much it hurts.
Got it.
So now I activate this thing so that I can shoot him. So I zip straight up to him and like put the shotgun in his face.
Yeah, so like as Vigo is turning away from Fergus after asking him that question, we were seeing it in slow motion, right? As he's like moving, and then we see Ode like flash, like the flash just like moving forward and streaks of light coming from behind him. And
all right, so here's a shot. 36? What? I didn't know I could roll that. Oh, I got a 19. That's fine.
Okay, yeah. So I'm sure a 36 hits.
So you could roll higher, is what you're saying.
I could have gotten a 37 if I got a perfect roll.
And how much damage did you do?
28.
28. Yeah, he's definitely brains splattered against the door.
I mean, technically, this is a non-lethal weapon. It shoots a cloud of stun stuff, but I mean, I don't know if it's in your nose when it goes off. I feel like maybe that's a.
I can heal him, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably really bad for him, but I don't think it explodes his head or anything. You do it right into his face, and it's probably just like his eyes roll back in his head, blood starts pouring out of his nose, and he just like slams back against the door and slumps.
Also, I did burst fire, so I was basically just like holding down the trigger.
And yeah, he's just like slamming up against the door. Actually, no, the door would probably open because it's like a sliding thing. So he hits it. You keep firing. The door slides open, and he rolls in, and then the door slams behind him. Yeah, exactly.
Bye.
And then your dad is just standing there like, and then like I assume time comes back to normal, and like he's just staring at you.
Yeah, I probably just look at him and the yellow glowing light slowly fades. I'm like, Dad? And he'll probably like hesitates and then goes to hug him.
And Robin, Robin just hugs you as well.
There's probably like some blood in my nose. I gotta roll my brain meltiness now. Hold on.
Jared, why do you keep pinging those places?
Because it's a circle in a circle.
I do that kind of stuff all the time.
I thought there was a better reason than that.
Man, I keep losing everything. Here we go. 1d4 system strain plus
all
1
these
each
squares
time.
make a circle. All these squares make a circle.
Oops.
I hope Jordan watches this episode. He'll appreciate that one.
Yeah.
Also, Jared, if you keep sending us videos like the Kirby one you just sent us, I'm going to stop watching them.
Caleb said Fergus reminded him of Kirby.
Okay. I took 2 of 12 strain, so I'm still okay. But
Don't even keep.
Yeah, so he hugs you and he says, "Ode, my boy, Ode."
What's going on? Who is that guy? Why is he? What's happening?
Yeah, and while this is happening, Vigo just like he's like blinks, and then he's like, "Well, that took care of itself." And then he immediately like does some hand movements to like Jenkins, like Kiana, like go check this out. Like let's secure the perimeter, make sure no one else is going to come out. And so people start to like scatter. I don't know what everyone else does, but that's what the Vigo's crew does.
I'm right next to Ode.
I will drag out your token, my friend. You don't need to draw anything. There you go.
I was going to draw a Super Saiyan aura around you. All right, whatever.
I mean, there's still 2 other people in our group who need to.
So what did you ask, Ode?
Just like he's sort of stumbling over himself, basically asking what was going on, who that guy was.
Sure. Yeah, and he probably is just saying like, some of the natives, they thought we were dangerous. They captured us. They still have the other doctors below. They have Layla below. They have your mother.
Okay, well, we can catch up later. I can apologize later. We have to go help her then.
And he just he's shaking his head. He's like, if you go down there, they're going to shoot them.
Not if we shoot them first.
I touched the guy and turned into him.
Robin?
There you go.
No, not Robin. The
guy I shot.
Oh, yeah. Well, he went inside, so you're going to have to go inside the building if you want.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I telekinetically pull him out, his corpse outside.
So Fergus, when you go over to the door, it stops. It's like jammed or something.
Okay.
So you could blast it open with telekinesis if you wanted.
How did it open for the guy?
Probably like a locked from the outside kind of thing. Or wait, no, it opened when he flew through it.
It did, yeah. But now it's like.
I guess I shot it. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
There's a panel outside too that you can fiddle with if you want.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and pry it open with my hands, and then whatever he does works, I'll think it was me. So
Okay.
Here's my exert roll. 7.
You pull your back,
Yeah.
throw it out, and then I heal you. You're fine.
Oh yeah.
12.
Yeah, so quickly you realize that they like as soon as they saw that you did this, they like locked the door. So whoever else is down there locked the door. But you can very easily bypass the mechanism and open it again.
If only we had a lady who could teleport.
Yeah, I know. And then you just hear yelling as soon as you open the door. It's like it's dark inside, but you just hear like lots of like incoherent, badly structured grammar yelling. It's basically just like, don't go any further. We're gonna shoot people. We're gonna shoot people. Like, don't you dare. But they're scared because they obviously saw like, just like teleported in front of them basically.
Oh, so they're like they're in this room right here.
Yeah, it's like when you go in, it's kind of dark in this room, but
Mhm.
you see that there's like a staircase that kind of like curves down into a lower kind of like cylindrical room that's like down here in the base of this
Mhm.
circle here. And there's a couple of emergency lights kind of down there that are still active. Some like old terminals, and you see like a huddled mass of like turbaned desert dwellers holding guns to various like scientist types, and then a one woman as well, who you assume is Layla, Robin's wife.
Are we
Mm.
all here,
Yes.
or is it just Odin?
Yeah,
You're
you
all
can all position yourselves wherever you're at.
Yeah.
Are our tokens actually on?
They are, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're in
they are.
the circle right here. Oh, Connie's on.
Evelyn went into the circle. Very nice.
Climb up on a dome.
How many people are in the room? Like bad guys.
I'd say like 6, 7.
Oh, okay.
See what you do?
So they saw that their guy died, basically. So me turning into him is not going to do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, they saw his body fly in.
I would threaten them, but this game only has one social skill, and I don't have it. So
I mean,
won't-
you could roll talk with dexterity if you wanted to threaten them with your gun.
that would give me a +0 total.
So we could also heal the guy,
Hmm.
and then
As a
I
show
mean,
of
right
faith.
now,
As
I'd
a-
rather
as like
they
a
were
olive branch, right?
scared.
Yeah.
be like, "Don't worry, everything's fine. If we kill you, we'll just heal you."
Yeah.
And then we'll kill you again, and then heal you again, and kill you again. And heal you again.
For eternity, let them go.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, I got this.
Okay. Go for it.
Yeah, we killed your god on our way here. So you guys are nothing more than just a paltry annoyance. So if you stop being jerks, we won't slaughter all of you.
Yeah, roll
'Cause you can just gun all of them down where they stand, and I can heal them all instantly. I eviscerate their friend and then heal them together.
Yeah, okay. Roll talk. You can get a +2.
Nice.
Yeah. What did my rolling with? Would this just be charisma?
Just
or-
charisma, I think, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I assume you're going to want to use your best stuff, so.
I mean, my best is intelligence.
I don't think you can use intelligence for that.
I have 0 everything other than intelligence and strength. 8. Oh, I got a 1 though. I get to
Yeah,
reroll.
you can roll that one again.
6.
Nice.
Nice, there you
baby.
go.
Yeah, so instead it's
13.
Yeah, 13.
Yep.
So I think they just slowly take their guns away and hold up their hands. And I think Vigo and
That's what I would do too.
Jenkins and Kiana like come in, and I assume Evelyn as well because you're following Vigo, right?
Do they see me eviscerate the man and then restructure him back together?
Probably. But they walk in and I think Vigo just like frowns as like Jenkins and Kiana like go down to like take their guns away and like make sure the doctors are okay. And Vigo just like looks at you Fergus, and then just says, "This is too easy. Something doesn't feel right."
I mean, too easy. Half our group died fighting the space god.
No, but something just feels wrong. He's just frowning.
Okay. Does anyone?
Yeah, everything
Yeah.
seems to be continually be fine, right? So Ode, you probably go
Yeah.
down and reunite with
Yeah.
your mother,
Yeah,
and
he goes and hugs her and starts apologizing and probably crying randomly. And
for sure. What is everybody else doing?
I don't like this narrative foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm.
Cast upon
Can I make a no roll to figure out what they're talking about?
Who's talking about?
They just said something's really wrong.
Yeah,
It just feels
that's
off.
what.
Yeah.
He has
Vigo said
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah.
Make a psychic inquiry. If I sit here and dance for 5 minutes, what will happen? And then if
Connor and I are both basically out.
Oh, all right.
I have one left, and that's just so I'm not completely useless.
Well, I'll just go first because I can't be surprised. So
yeah, I mean, I can roll a telepathy to see if there's like anything out of the.
That's true, but didn't we scan this place already? So I mean, like if there.
I mean, you scanned the place in a general sense. Like you knew there were people here. You didn't like know their biological makeup necessarily.
Yeah.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
I meant to ask this earlier when it was just the dad, so it's a little bit more weird this time. But is it weird to anybody else that Robin is wearing a shirt?
What?
What?
Hmm?
What do you mean?
Robin's wearing a shirt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that weird out anybody else?
Is it because Ode doesn't wear a shirt? Is that what
Is he adopted?
Hilarious.
I honestly thought he was raised by gorillas like Tarzan.
Raised by shirtless hoodlums in this.
No, what happened was
in
I
a game
lived
store.
as a professional gamer for a long time and didn't need to wear clothes.
Ode was raised by gamers in an abandoned GameStop somewhere.
I started out in a psychic
Abandoned
cult
GameStop.
and then went and did gaming.
Yeah.
Can I psychically scan the building for like anomalies?
Yeah. Go ahead and make a telepathy.
12.
12 is pretty good. Let me go ahead and oh my goodness, this
The sky is falling.
mattress.
I'm gonna take this moment to go to the bathroom. I will still be able to hear you.
Mattress is just. Oh, thank you.
That's fine, Jared, as long as we can't hear you.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out. So there's like several threads going right now that I could pull on. I'm just trying to decide what to drop here because that was too easy. But I was like thinking about it and I was like, well, these are just random natives. Like you guys are like god levels people. Like they aren't gonna actually pose a threat really.
Right.
Let me think about this for a second. Continue having your like interaction and descriptions of what you're doing and whatnot. But
Evelyn's just standing in Vigo's shadow.
Mm-hmm. And Robin and Layla are just like talking to you, Ode, and walk.
Yeah, he's apologizing for leaving and saying mean stuff to them when he left and all that kind of stuff. And,
it seems like they've basically like completely forgotten about it and forgiven you. Like they immediately are just like they don't like try to pass it off like it was nothing, but they just like immediately have forgiveness for you and are just like, we love you. Like there's nothing you could ever do that would make us not love you.
After a few
what
minutes
did you do?
of that, I probably
he ran off to be a pro gamer.
Yeah. So after a little bit of that, if there's enough time, I'll probably be like, by the way, we came here because, well, I wanted to see you guys, but also my friend had like a super psychic seizure. He was out for like a week, and I think he was dead before that. But I have some psychic powers now, I guess. I can like see the past, which I don't think is normal. But anyways, so I like went into the past and kept him from dying. I think I don't really know anything. I don't understand anything that happened. I shot some mind demons. I don't know. And then so he didn't die, but he was still out for like a week. I kind of want to make sure he's not gonna. He like stops before he says implode because he realizes that's really insensitive right now. It's like like turn into a meatball or something. He's a bioscience, so who knows? He's over there, and I point at Fergus.
He's just like doing the psych, like, and he's just like holding his hand up, like scanning the room.
Beep, 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 beep.
We should totally have like Oscars for best role playing. You've got my vote, David.
Thanks.
Well, Bernie Wheel has those sorts of things built into it.
Right. I don't know if you can like poke him with a stethoscope or something, but it's kind of want to make sure he's okay. And then we have it's this lady who's like super telepathic. And we're a little worried she might blow up or something because she said she will, and that's sort of bad.
Yeah, so Vigo, I think, Fergus, you're kind of scanning around, and Vigo turns to you, Evelyn. And no, I think he's still looking at you, Fergus, and he says, "Do you sense anything?" And with a 12, Fergus, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do, because, like,
I'm so scared.
I don't know how hard I want to hit right now.
Well,
Gator.
just though, keep in mind, I have 1 effort. Connor has 0.
Perfect. So I should hit hard.
So you
That
should
makes
hit us
sense.
with everything
Yeah.
you got.
Okay. You know what? That makes sense. That makes sense.
Don't make it shootable because I have 12 strain, and then I'll just shoot it. So it has to be a psychic ghost or something.
So Fergus, you are kind of scanning around, and you I don't
Being
think you
into-
see anything here, like see anything psychically in terms of like I assume you're like scanning the people in front of you, right? Like
the
natives.
people, and then like just the building.
Mhm.
You know what's with it, like the scope of this area, like we're within like anything within the next few seconds will be able to like come crashing down and kill us.
Yeah, I mean you can't really like see, like you can't scry with telepathy.
yeah.
You can just like see people's minds. So I don't think there's anything that jumps out to you. The natives are pretty normal. But then I think you probably. So as a reminder, the way this room is set up inside, actually I should double check to see if I have a map that I can use for the inside of this, just so I don't describe something that I can't actually replicate as a map. Let me double check something real quick.
I will note real quick before I forget to mention it that Dylan is just kind of like awkwardly hovering in the background. She's maybe like tending to like the other people in the room, like making small talk or whatever.
Mhm.
But she's like wanting to meet Ode's parents, but she's not wanting to like interject herself too soon and just be like, "Hi, I'm Dylan," because she doesn't want to like ruin the moment of like Ode seeing his parents again.
Yeah.
She's also probably thinking, this is not how I thought I'd meet his parents.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, it's going better than I imagined.
That's probably what happens too, right? Like he sees Fergus like mind scanning. He's like, okay, well maybe we can't look at Fergus. And he's like, oh, and that's Dylan. Those Fergus and Dylan are like my best friends. I mean, you should come meet her. She's super cool. She can like sword fight, and I think she can read minds. We still haven't figured out. Anyways, I don't even know if I know that. I think I do. So much stuff has happened. But so he like tugs on their sleeve because Fergus is still busy. I guess I'll drag him over to you while Caleb is. Whoop.
Well, yeah,
Did
you
we
guys
just
are
go into the black hole?
you guys are inside
it's
at this point.
I
so-
also sense Explodey Lady, if that's the thread you're going on.
It's not. So she seems fine as well. The thing I was gonna mention is basically, I think,
Whoa, it's
you
big.
Oh wow.
Oh
It's
boy,
like
that's not a good sign.
ignore that. I'm mainly
Okay.
focusing on the landing over here, right? So this is like
Okay.
whether or not we go further into the facility, and this is actually a giant monster. Who knows?
Ignore the Sarlacc pit. It'll be
Yeah, ignore the Sarlacc pit. Mainly, I just wanted to drag everybody in here. So there's like a landing up here that's a little bit up, and then down here is where all the other people are. I'm assuming that like Evelyn, Fergus, and Vigo are up here, right?
Sure.
Still watching things, and most everybody else is like down
Except I'm
I-
closer to
in the
Vigo
other
than
space.
that, but
Yeah, it's fine.
I also
More like this.
closed this door.
This
You
door.
know, like the nanite storm and everything.
Of course, yeah.
potentially.
And I think Jenkins and Kiana are also kind of like secure. They were securing the the natives.
Oh shoot,
And
guys, where
Keon,
the heck is my mech?
Your map?
your mech.
My mech.
Oh, your mech.
Probably just on the voice grace.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay.
All
right, we're fine now.
Or wait, no, isn't it in the frigate?
No, it was Vigo was wearing it the last time we saw it.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
She saved him with it. Yeah.
Maybe it just went back.
Yeah, it's in the voice grace right now.
Okay.
I was hoping it would just go back.
You
But
have
this
room
is
for
fine.
that?
Yeah.
Jenkins would still be right next to me.
No, I already said Vigo has told them to go secure the natives with their guns and stuff, and like take their guns and stuff. So they're doing that. Ode's obviously talking with his parents. I think Kiana's like glancing over as well. And
I was gonna introduce them to Dylan, though it sounds like we might get interrupted. Also, I sent you a Facebook message just real quick.
Yes, thank you. I'll look at that. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to decide. I'm trying to decide in this moment, David, if that is if he is here.
Right.
Oh man, I have so little brain power.
It's all right.
Well, keep in mind we need to be done by 10:30 anyway.
I know.
So you could just give us a reveal. And
I'm gonna drop some sort of just like kind of cliffhanger thing, but I want to make sure it's not gonna be not something I'm gonna contradict for next time. I'm gonna make it vague enough that I can tweak it if I need to, but it has to be. It can't just be the door opens and then I can do whatever.
Yeah. There's a light. Yeah.
So yeah, let's say he's not here, and so Kiana's like looking over at Robin and Layla and just like frowning, like she's looking around the room, like she's looking for someone. And then Fergus, so you're scanning everything, and everything in here is fine. And then you sense two people suddenly out here, like just instantly, like they were teleported.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
And
there are two people outside.
And the door slams open. In terms like telekinetic, not telekinetic, but like explosive force. Metal kind of flies everywhere. Everyone has to duck. Maybe one of the natives gets hit by like a piece of metal. Actually, no. I'm trying to decide if the door is going to be destroyed or not.
Going.
I'm trying to decide if they want to like try to trap you in here.
Oh.
Or if they're just like guns blazing.
I mean, if it's the robot people, if it's Crawl, he has the robot guy, so he can basically just do whatever he wants.
Right. That's what I'm figuring. I'm trying to figure out like what Sample it might be doing with this situation. Like if he's going to try to like trap you guys in here somehow, do something weird with the facility, and that's probably interesting. So let's do that. So I don't think the door opens. Suddenly, there's just two people that step out, of the door here, right? And at first, it looks like just two natives, right, Fergus? And you're frowning because you like didn't sense them before. You're like, what's going on? And it looks like people in desert clothing, and then they do the whole mask reveal. Take off their clothing, and somehow it's Juliana and Victor.
Yeah.
They teleported. It had to be Juliana,
hey, at least Dylan gets a chance to actually kill her this time.
Yeah.
She wants to so bad.
And
how many times do we need to teach you this lesson?
Yeah. That's great. And they step through the door, and Victor probably look at you, Ode, because you're like closest to him. Yep. And he just says, "I wasn't done with you, punk." And he just like, grabs his grav cannon thing, right, and aims it, and then we cut there. Probably not before some sort of lockdown obviously happens in the facility, and like doors are slamming closed, lights are going out, sort of.
Can I make like a reflex roll to slip out and get my mech?
I mean, I had closed the door.
Yes.
Already. Yeah.
Can I just point out that if you have, if what's his nose, can hack this building, there's zero reason he can't hack your mech, and having it there is probably more of a liability than a use.
That's actually true.
Because he can just cheat anything nonstop. So just maybe send it away.
Finger of death.
Yeah.
Oh God, we're dead.
I will stay put.
So this is the thing, Evelyn. I don't know if Evelyn would think of that. Not in the immediate, at least, right? So, would your first move, if you see them, would be to go for the door so you can get your mech? Is that actually what Evelyn would do?
Would his mech fit
Considering
in
the fact that the door is closed, I don't think she has time. I was thinking the door was open and she was going to like try and duck underneath it before it locked down. I just don't think it's realistic to think that she would try and open the door.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They're also pretty big, so there's a good chance you literally wouldn't be able to fight with it in this building.
I was going to finger of death the door down.
Well, right, but then like if say we're fighting like over here,
so it's not like Pacific Rim size.
No, I know that, but even
it's more like Hulkbuster. So
right, but
given the
given the
size,
15 feet tall or whatever, it might be hard to get in there.
No, this room's pretty big.
It's big enough. Okay.
Yeah. Even if it's like this size,
jeez.
She can still fight.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Evelyn just grows enormous for some reason.
But yeah, so the facility starts locking down. Weird like electronic mechanical things are happening to like start fiddling, inconveniencing you guys. And then you hear Krawl's voice on like an intercom. Just say, let's see, what's the line I want to end on?
Howdy, partner.
He says,
got you trapped now.
People are always at their weakest when they're have to look out for someone besides themselves. And that's probably when Victor is, he's pointing the gun first at Ode, and obviously when we actually get into combat, Ode, you can do your quick thing and act first and all this stuff. But in the kind of like tense narrative moment after we get that from Krawl is pointing the gun at you, Ode, and then he instead points the gun at your parents, and that's where we cut. Right. So basically, their intention here is, hey, we let you guys come save your parents and your doctor friends.
We can have leverage.
But now we're going to be attempting to murder them. For many reasons, but one being you're going to be worried about saving them, and so we might be able to capture you guys and whatever else. That's their kind of strategy here.
So question.
Yeah.
I thought they were eaten alive psychically.
He did say somehow. I assume this somehow isn't the same somehow that revived the Emperor in Star Wars. But
no, it is not somehow Palpatine returned. There is an actual foreshadowed reason that has been very clear.
Did I eat clones? Okay.
I think, didn't we already see them in a way that in a scene where it was surprising that they were there?
Yeah, we already saw them also teleport to you guys, Odin Dylan, and so we didn't have a clear timeline to know whether or not it was happening simultaneously, but but you might figure out whether or not that was the case soon here. So
I mean,
my money's on clones.
Yeah, I mean, we already have clones, so at least if anything, there's that.
So did I eat the clone or the real ones?
Well, let's go ahead and call it there, and then talk about that on the after show, shall we? Cool. Yeah. So I mean, if you guys are so down on effort and whatnot, I feel like the hardest I can hit you is Krawl's crew comes at you with everything they can. So I feel like now's the time to do it, right? So yeah, we'll go ahead and end there because David needs to be off early, and we'll go ahead and do an after show, which you can check out if you're a patron. You can check out that at patreon.com/CalebMPowers. But for now, stream's over, and we will say goodbye. Adios.
Ezra's sad that the stream's over. Oh, buddy, it's okay.
So sad.